What is up, everyone? Crimson Yeti here, and welcome back to the channel. So recently Cyclops released for Marvel Rivals. He actually released on Friday the 12th, and I actually streamed that day, playing for a couple of hours to see what he was like. So as you guys know, I always do a character like breakdown for their abilities, show you how their kits work and stuff like that. So it's the same thing we're going to be doing with Cyclops. So Cyclops is a DPS and he is a hit scan character, so keep that in mind. But starting off with the left click ability, we've got Optic Blast. Fire a quick burst of kinetic force forward. Hitting enemies accelerates the force charge rate. So this is actually really good, even for headshots. As you can see, we do a bunch of damage right there, more than half for a headshot, and it is a 3-shot burst as well, so just keep that in mind. All right, moving on to his right click. This is by far, I think, his best ability in my opinion, and this is Concussive Beam. Continuously fire a powerful beam that can refract between enemies and the environment. Hitting enemies accelerates the force charge rate as well. So if we go over here, we got a bunch of enemies right here that we can hit. If we hold down our right click, you guys are going to see that both of them is going to be taking damage. Obviously it's going to be less damage the more that it chains to, but the first one's going to be taking the most. And then on the right there, you guys can see there is a little bar that will go down that will have to recharge it. But you can also look on the bottom of your screen there on the left, and it'll show you how many charges you have. And you do get 100. He also starts with 275 HP, so it's not too bad for a DPS. So let's go ahead and move on to his A ability. Now, I tell you guys all the time, and I just remind you guys again, if this is your first video watching of mine of Marvel Rivals, I don't play with WASD keys. I actually change them, so this is probably going to be different for you guys, so just bear that in mind. But we have Propulsion Burst for our A ability. Fire a propulsion beam to push yourself and the target backward, applying a slow effect to the enemy. This also is a control effect. So this is actually his like kind of get off me move and get away. He will actually go backwards, as you can see there, and it'll actually slow the enemy too. So it's kind of like a good like get off me tool if you're feeling like too pressured, or if you have a dive coming in on you or something. You can also control this as well with your like left and right. So if you want to go to the left, you can. If you want to go to the right as well. So let's go ahead and move on to his Ricochet Force. This is a really good one too. I think his Concussive Beam's the best, and then this Force, the Ricochet Force, is the second best in my opinion. To fire a beam that can diffract and track nearby enemies after hitting terrain. Upon use, Cyclops gains bonus health. So if we go over here, we fire this on the ground. As you can see, this is going to be hitting 2 targets here, and then we're going to be getting a little bit of bonus HP as well, up to 300. And there's going to be 2 charges on that too. So moving on to his last ability here we have before the ult. We have Optic Ascent. Fire a propulsion beam directly downward to push yourself up and knock back hit enemies. This also applies to slow as well. And this is really good too if you want to go airborne, because you can actually go airborne and then do your right click. Let me do it over here, because he'll hover a little bit when you do this with the right click. So let's do this. Stay back here, let it recharge for a second. Then we'll push up. And we see we're going to be floating here as well. And then you can actually cancel this as well into your get off me tool. So you can cancel that into your propulsion burst. So keep in mind, if you're up in the air with your Optic Ascent, if you hold in the right click for the Concussive Beam, it's going to be having you give that little float ability and also chaining with your Concussive Beam. And then, like I said, you can also cancel that into your propulsion burst. So a lot of times, in a lot of matches I was playing on the live stream there, and you guys can go back and look at that and see what I'm talking about. When I was up in the air here, it's kind of easier to hit him when he's like this, when he's just hovering around. So just keep that in mind. Don't float around too long. Maybe just try to go ahead and cancel it into your propulsion burst. So now we've got his passive, Kinetic Hover. Enter a slow flow state while firing concussive beams midair. That's what I was just talking about. So that's one of his passives that he's got. He also has a team up ability with Wolverine, and the Cyclops supercharges Wolverine's claws, extending his attack range. While active, Wolverine's Vicious Rampage is replaced with Kinetic Claws, granting him a brief forward lunge that unleashes a flurry of slashes around him. I haven't actually got a chance to play with a Wolverine to see this in action. I think I played one match where a guy played a Wolverine, but I think he switched off really fast, so I didn't actually get to see anything. But I had to see a couple of clips with Wolverine using the ability, and it looked like it would be pretty good. So, all right, now we're going to be going over his ult, and I will go ahead and tell you guys this. I think his ult is horrible. I think it's one of the worst ults in the game, unless you have a CC character that you can pair him up with. So what I'm talking about with CC is crowd control. So if you have a Emma or a thing with his ult that can CC and stun them, you know, Emma's will pull them in towards her. If you have a Doctor Strange where it'll stun them, then this ult is really good. So if we go over here and I click on it, as you can see, we can confirm it or cancel it, either one. If we go here, we're going to see this little arrows down below me. This is actually where the ult is going to go, and he's going to fire this laser. As you can see, these rocks are going to pop up in the ground here, these little red like looking lava rocks. They're not lavas, you know, they're the lasers. But if you notice, it took a little bit of time for those to go off. So if I go over here and we charge up the ult again, now I'm going to go back over here and do it again. I'll show you guys. See that little second there before it ticks and goes off? If you're standing in it, you're absolutely cooked, dude. I mean, you're dead. But this is what sucks. When he first fires that and you see those rocks and stuff, you can move out of it, dude, if you're not CC'd. So that, because it gives you that little like couple of seconds there to kind of notice it and then move out of it before it bursts. So that's the reason why I think it kind of sucks. But anyway, it's called Ruby Rage. Remove visor and fire a powerful sweeping beam forward, destroying all barriers in its path. The blast leaves behind a volatile excess energy that erupts, dealing massive secondary explosive damage. There was a couple of times during the stream I was using it, and it just wasn't hitting anybody. I was trying to test it to see like if I could get a couple of people slipping, and I would catch like one here and there. Majority of the time that people were like grouped up, like 2 or 3 of them were grouped up, and I did it, they just had plenty enough time to move out of it, and it was just fucking useless. So just keep that in mind. If you are wanting to use his ult, try to, if you're playing with a buddy or playing with a good team or something, if they have an Emma or if they have a Strange, a thing, you know, one of those characters that can do CC, then oh, this ult's gonna cook, because anybody standing that dude's gonna be taking massive amounts of damage. But yeah, that is Cyclops for you guys. Overall, I still love him, man. He does insane damage. He has really good mobility. The fact that he can hit multiple targets with 2 of his abilities, he can hit him with the concussive beam and he can hit him with the ricochet force. Just the only thing that is the biggest problem with him, like I said, is the ult. But overall, I still love him. I think he's insanely good. I think he's one of the top DPSs in the game, because just your left click alone is going to be melding people, and it's not that hard to hit his left click, really. It's kind of easy. But yeah, I'm also going to be doing a match with him. That video will be going up the next day after this one goes up. Keep on the lookout for that if you guys want to actually see some gameplay of me playing Cyclops. Also, if you already want to see some gameplay, got that live stream like I was talking about, man, that's already up on the channel. Go check that out. We had a lot of fun testing him out in the newest season and stuff, because we got some new balance changes and everything to test as well. So we had a lot of fun in the stream. But anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. Go check out Cyclops and Marvel Rivals, and also do me a huge favor, guys, if you did enjoy the video, make sure to like and consider subbing. We're still on the road to 100. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. Range. Oh, you get a bounce too. Okay.
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Dude, the mobile. Whoa, what is that?